What nobody mentions about Abraham's tithe. We've heard that tithing is not the law because Abraham tithed to Melchizedek before Mosaic law, therefore all Christians today must regularly pay a tenth of their income to a local church. But let's stop to ask some basic questions. If Abraham doing something before the Mosaic law makes it binding on us, why isn't circumcision obligatory for every Christian to receive God's blessing? Abraham was circumcised long before Mosaic law. Why did Abraham tithe? Did God command it? No. Ancient history shows that tithing the spoils of war to a king was an ancient practice in that region, and Abraham might have faced war with Melchizedek if he hadn't tithed it. What did Abraham tithe? Was it his own goods or income? No. He was far from home and tithed on the spoils of war, giving the other 90% back to the kings it was taken from. How often does the Bible say Abraham tithed? Once. Was Abraham a regular tither? No. Many preachers say Abraham made a covenant with God, received God's blessing, and was made rich because he tithed. If that is true, why did God make his promise to Abraham, blessing, and enrich him in Genesis 12 and 13, long before his tithe in Genesis 14? If God's promise and blessing came before the tithe, it never depended on the tithe. Finally, if Abraham's tithe on the spoils of war is somehow an eternal moral principle for all to imitate, why do God's own instructions for the spoils of war under Mosaic law contradict it? In Numbers 31, God instructed the Israelites to give 1,000th of the plunder to the priests, and 100th of the plunder to the Levites, not a tenth. We must handle God's word honestly, not distort it to fit made-up religious rules and human commands as the Pharisees did.